Hey guys, today we're going to talk about what banks I use in the US that make it easy for me to transfer my money here. How are their debit cards accepted here in the Philippines? Also, a subscriber asked me what VPN I use and if I use a VPN. And also, how do I get my fix of sports? Do I get enough sports here? Do you get it on live TV or do you have to use streaming apps? Guys, before we get started, let me welcome a new sponsor to the channel, Surfshark VPN. Down below in the description will be a link to Surfshark. And if you click that link, you'll get up to 4 extra months of Surfshark at an unbeatable price. So let's talk about sports. Do I get enough sports here in the Philippines? Yes, I do. Being here in Dumaguete, I used Phil Products as my local provider. Phil Products gives me 200 channels, which includes 4 sports networks. And one of those is ESPN. And on ESPN, as today, I watched the Penn State Notre Dame game. Tomorrow, I'll watch the Ohio State game. I can get a lot of sports on ESPN that you guys see live. That would be Thursday night football, Monday night football, anything that is being shown live on ESPN, I get that here. The trouble I have with ESPN here is they know I'm in Asia. So on the sports, when there is not a live football game or a live basketball game, when the Lakers play or something, I get a lot of cricket. I get a lot of billiards. I get a lot of sumo wrestling. I get a lot of, soccer. I get a lot of different sports, different activities here. On some of the sports channels I also get Philippine volleyball, Philippine basketball. But if you need to get Major League Baseball, you need a lot more NBA. You need to see all the NFL games live. You might have to use your VPN and download some apps from your home country. Now, the good thing about a VPN, you just connect with your home country and you can connect to apps there. I get Netflix here and I also get HBO. Now, the HBO and Netflix are both Asian based here. It's not the same Netflix that you get back home in the US. If you want the same Netflix, you need to be connected with a VPN to the US and download your Netflix app. And a few of the streaming services that I know you need a VPN to get if you're here in the Philippines. If you want to use your Amazon Prime, you're probably going to have to connect to your home country, connect to the US and use that. If you love Yellowstone, you're going to have to connect your VPN to the US and get on Paramount or whatever streaming service you would use to watch that. I cannot get Yellowstone here. I love that show. And Janet has seen the first 3 episodes, but we just can't get any of the other episodes without paying an arm and a leg. But for those of you who do enjoy it and don't mind paying for it, you're going to need a VPN to get it. But everything else, I get plenty. I don't know how much you need. You can get any kind of streaming services you want, but you're going to need a VPN and you're going to need a smart TV. Let's hope you get a smart TV. But Janet and I get plenty of LA Laker basketball. We get plenty of Ohio State football. Go Ohio State. And we get plenty of the sports that we enjoy watching here in the Philippines. Trouble is the time difference. When you're watching Monday Night Football, I'm watching it Tuesday morning with my scrambled eggs and cup of coffee. Now, when it comes to banking, I use 3 different banks. I use Charles Schwab, Wells Fargo, and Capital One. With Capital One, I have the 360 checking, and that it did not have a brick and mortar store that I went into. I was able to sign up to that online back in New Mexico when I was living there just before I came here to the Philippines. I had to give them an address, a mailing address, and that address I got from my iPostal One, my virtual mailbox. There's a link down below in the description for that also. But you need to have a mailing address for Capital One. You need to have a mailing address for Wells Fargo, and definitely you need one for Charles Schwab. Now, with their debit cards, all 3 debit cards worked here. Capital One, there was no extra fee for me using it, but I did have to pay the terminal fee. You know, that's the ATM that you're using here in the Philippines. There was a 250 peso charge for the withdrawal. I had to pay that, and I did not get reimbursed. With Wells Fargo, I got hit with all sorts of fees. I got hit with a foreign transaction fee. I got hit with, an ATM out of country fee, and also the fee from the host ATM machine. So Wells Fargo is the last one I would use at the ATM. The best at the ATM was Charles Schwab. When I used Charles Schwab at the end of the month, they reimbursed all my ATM fees and no foreign transaction fees. So, guys, check with your bank. Tell them where you're going to be. Maybe you have to sign up with a different bank or a different credit union, telling them that you're traveling. You're retired now and you're going to be traveling the world. Where can you use your debit card with the least amount of fees? And I've heard a couple things about U.S. Navy Credit Union. I also heard USAA didn't charge any fees and reimbursed your fees at the ATM. But so far, Charles Schwab has been the best that I've heard about. The thing is, Charles Schwab has a strict requirement on an address. Make sure you have a U.S. address, and you can get that with iPostal 1. And just have everything mailed to iPostal 1. It worked for me. I don't know how it's going to work for everybody else, but that worked for me. Yes, I have a VPN, and I use Surfshark. Now, Surfshark, I use it on multiple devices. I use it on my laptop, I use it on my phones, and I use it on my smart TV. When Janet and I travel up to Cebu, and we stay at the Quest Hotel, and we use their public Wi-Fi. Now, we can use that public Wi-Fi in the lobby, in the restaurant. Each one of these is a separate Wi-Fi connection with a separate password. In the pool, in the hallways, and in our room. So there's quite a lot of public access to the Wi-Fi there. So I like to be secure and safe, and I use my VPN when I'm using their Wi-Fis. And I use that also when I'm in coffee shops, especially up in Cebu, the bigger cities, where there's a bigger chance that somebody could be lurking around trying to get some information from you if you're not using some sort of protection. So I'm going to fully recommend that you use Surfshark. The other thing you can use on the VPN that saves me is there's a lot of websites I like. Now, I play the horses every once in a while, and I go to tvg.com, and I like to play the horses once in a while. And I use the VPN. I log in that I'm in Phoenix, or I log in that I'm in Las Vegas, and I can connect and I can play there. But if I'm here in the Philippines and I don't have a VPN, I can't log into that website. It says it's not accepted at the country that I'm in. And there's a lot of websites like that. I don't know what they all are, but there's many websites that are restricted in certain countries that you're used to. It could be a government restriction. You know, if you're in Vietnam or Cambodia, maybe they're not allowing a certain website to have access to people in their country, and you need a VPN to, and is going to give you freedom to browse without any restrictions when you're in a foreign country. Don't forget to use your VPN. And again, I use Surfshark. I'm going to recommend Surfshark because it's somebody I use and I trust to protect your information. Down below in the description will be a link to Surfshark. And if you click that link, you'll get up to 4 extra months of Surfshark at an unbeatable price. Now, the other thing is checking my bank accounts online. Now, I can check all 3 of my bank accounts online from the Philippines here. I can check my Wells Fargo and my Capital One. Both of those, I need to have my VPN turned off. But my Charles Schwab account and my brokerage account, I need to have the VPN on. They have to think that I'm back in my home country and connected to the U.S., and I can get into my account online and have no problems. But with Wells Fargo and Capital One, when I use a VPN, I cannot access it. It tells me I've been locked out. And the reason I'm locked out is because I'm from a location using a VPN, and they don't want you to use the VPN. Once I disconnect that, I'm able to get into my Wells Fargo and my Capital One. As for my credit cards, I have 2 private company credit cards not connected with my bank, And both of those, for me to access my account information on my credit card, I need to have my VPN on and, be connected in the US. This way I can go in there, and on my credit cards, I can lock the cards and unlock the cards. And the same thing with my bank account. I lock and unlock all my debit cards as needed. And guys, don't be afraid to check your bank account from time to time, just in case somebody's trying to hack into your account. Maybe someone got hold of your account numbers, took a lucky guess at your PIN code or something, and was able to withdraw a small amount of money out of your checking account or savings account. So you can see that someone is trying to hack your account, and you can report that as unauthorized and stop any future problems from them trying to take out more money. These hackers, they take out a little bit and then they come back and take out a little bit more, and then they go in for the big score. So be protected. Check your account often. I check mine daily. It's part of my ritual. When I get up, I have my coffee, I hit my computer on, and I check all my bank account balances, see what transactions were done the day before, and also check my credit card for any unauthorized charges. As I answer the question, do I use a VPN? Of course I use a VPN. I use Surfshark. Again, I'll tell you, I have a link down in the description. It's the only VPN I've used in the last 10 years, and it has worked great for me. I have no problem with it. The payments are low. It's just so easy to use and access. So I want to thank again to Surfshark for becoming a sponsor of the channel. Hopefully we get a few more sponsors up and running here in the next few weeks. Guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comments section. I'll be glad to answer it. If you have any questions about Postal Box or Surfshark, click on their link down below.